We all love our dogs so much, so when they get into the garbage and their pancreas gets inflamed, the results can be devastating. Then the vet tells us that it will cost us thousands of dollars to save our pet. I think when we hear that news, we're all left speechless. What I'm about to say is only my opinion from having paid $4,000 and luckily still enjoying the pleasure of our sweet dog. It appears that pancreas takes a long time to settle down. While the pancreas rests, some dogs seem to stay in the hospital with minimal care under the watchful eye of the $200 an hour vets. Can someone who stays at home maybe provide the same care or even better when given the medications and instructions? Our dog wasn't completely well after his release from the hospital, but he was no longer dehydrated and the feeding tube seemed to be the lifesaver. So we nursed our dog at home, and when symptoms reappeared, we changed his food. Pancreatitis in dogs may be the biggest money-making scam that vets have at their disposal. Instead of helping you provide animal care at home, they seem to like to charge $1,000 a day for their services to watch your dog and give them meds. Instead of pointing out that the inflamed pancreas needs to rest without food or water for 2 to 3 days, they give out appetite stimulants. Also, instead of recommending a homemade food diet, we use boiled chicken to remove the fat, brown rice and peas. Instead of using that homemade food diet to prevent future attacks, the vet gives you the same food so you can come back and give them a few more $1,000. They could tell you that pancreatitis can reoccur, but they would rather promote their business by not informing the customer. Instead of teaching you how to insert water with a syringe into the side of your dog's mouth, they want you to pay $1,000 a day so they can hydrate your dog. Instead of giving the dog life-saving antibiotics to prevent the dog's hospitalization, they let the situation get worse. Does this sound familiar, or did this just happen to me? Sure, it's a business, but pharma companies can't by law charge ridiculous prices for life-saving meds for humans, so why do vets get to take advantage of pet-loving people in distress by squeezing money out of them unnecessarily? Don't get me started on the expensive, irrelevant tests they like to tell you they should run. X-rays can't tell you if it's pancreatitis, so why do they recommend X-rays when presented with pancreatitis symptoms? This is such an immoral money-making scam, and the vets that do this should be made accountable. I'm not a vet, so don't take my word for it, because every situation is different. But it does really appear that vets in general have been soaking people's pocketbooks, and I'm wondering if more could be done at home for our pets. Not everyone can afford to save their pet by hospitalizing their dog. Vets should be mandated to provide the medications that they would use in the hospital and give them to the customers so people can save their pet, instead of insisting that euthanization is the only other option. With the right medicines and food and rest, and especially loving care at home, it appears progress can be made. To avoid re-inflaming the pancreas, it appears homemade dog food is definitely the way to go.